This guy knows he's going to lose his job. He knows he's going to be fired. What did he do? He made a clever plan. It was dishonest, but at least he got a plan. He brings in his master's debtors, the people who own him, the manager. He says to the first guy, how much do you owe? And he said, 800 barrels. Okay, this is what we will do. Well, 50%. You only owe 400. The next, he says, how much do you owe? Just 1,000. Okay, 1,000, we'll cut it to 800, 20%. What was he doing? What he's doing is making friends for a long-term relationship. He's saying, I'm going to lose my job, and if I have these friends around me who owe me one, maybe they're going to probably so kind to me, they'll give me maybe a job, maybe they'll invite me to their home, maybe they loan me a little money, and at least I'm building this relationship as a safety net for when I lose my job, I have friends. Right? Now, listen very carefully. Jesus is not commending this guy for dishonesty, because what he did was clearly wrong. Now, follow me on this. You can appreciate something in somebody without admiring everything that they do. For example, there are some actors out there who live really immoral lives, but they're still good actors. And you can appreciate the fact that they are good actors. Somebody said before, what was that? Britney Spears. They said, oh, wow. Somebody said, Tiger Woods, right? These are bad examples, they said, in their lives, right? But you can still watch Tiger Woods and still appreciate that he's really a good tennis player. No. That's right. Go. You see, I'm not a fan of Tiger Woods. I'm just checking if you're listening. Tiger Woods, Britney Spears. There are some people who are if you look at them, they're musicians, but they still make good music, right? So you can appreciate what they're good at. When you go to a doctor, for example, and you need a brain surgery, you don't ask the doctor. You say, "Are you an atheist?" No, you don't ask the doctor if he's a Buddhist or a Christian, or you just say, "Have you done this before?" That's what you want to know. You want to know if this doctor knows what he's doing, right? So you can appreciate what they're doing good, not the bad things that they're doing. Now, in this story, there are three things that this dishonest manager did right. And these are the three things that we need to do in order for us, especially in this recession time, you apply this, then God will bless your life. Number one, I must look ahead. That's what he did. In verse 3, the first thing this money manager does is he said, what am I going to do now? He's asking this question before he gets fired. He hasn't gone to the meeting yet. He hasn't received the pink slip. He's already been thinking ahead. My master's asking me to come in and give an account. He's not going to like what he hears, so he's going to be likely to fire me. Before he's even fired, he is thinking ahead. And that's a good thing. In Proverbs 14:8, wise man looks ahead. The fool attempts to fool himself and won't face the facts. See, he faced the fact and he looks ahead. He says it's wise to look ahead in your finances. It's foolish to just ignore it and to try to just live for today. You get all kinds of problems when you don't face the facts. The number one reason people are in debt is short-term thinking. They're not thinking about next year. They're not thinking about 5 years. They're not even thinking about in 5 months. They're living for today. The number one cause of debt is the inability to delay gratification. I've got to have it now. I've got to have it now. I want it now even though I can't afford it. So I will charge it. I will buy a house I cannot afford. I will buy a TV I cannot afford. I will buy a vacation I cannot afford. I want it because I want it now. It's short-term thinking. It's the opposite of planning ahead. The Bible says not planning ahead is foolish. Because when you don't plan ahead, you spend money you don't have. You spend money that you don't have. One of the principles of life is real simple. You don't spend what you don't have. You don't spend what you don't have. Now, let me talk to the children. Your parents are not rich. And your parents, they work so hard. Sometimes they work like double jobs just to earn. Right? And your toys are expensive. iPod and all kinds of computer stuff. Sometimes it costs like hundreds of dollars. Right? If you want one or anything that you want to buy, make sure, just make sure that your parents have the money. Because your parents love you so much, they will just charge it. And even though they don't have the money, they will just keep charging it for you. So make sure that your parents can afford it. So they don't, it will be a stressful, very stressful to them. So you look ahead. You need to think ahead. Thinking ahead means don't spend what you don't have.
I was just going to add, when we were talking about the kids to ask for money, when I was grocery shopping with Kyle, he wanted candy, and it wasn't on sale, it was $5, and it should have been $2, whatever. So he goes, Mommy, I want that, can I have it? And I said, no, we don't have enough money for that. I don't have any more money, then we can buy milk. He goes, oh man. So then the next day I have to go back again with him. He goes, Mommy, do we have enough money for this? And I said, no, honey, we still don't have money. So he takes out from his pocket, like quarters. And I go, where did you get that? I have money now. He took it from this piggy bank. And he put it in his pocket to bring with him. Because he's been saving, but it's our piggy bank. You know, from my walk-in closet, he takes it from there and he takes it in. So he's trying to learn now that you can't just get it one time, you have to earn, although he's not really earning, he's stealing it. The piggy bank.
I remember when my kids were little, we went to Kmart, and I said, before we even enter, I said to JJ, Jordan, and Joshua, I said, listen guys, read my lips. No toys. No toys, right? So we walked into the Kmart, right? They were little. The minute they said, Papa, can I have this? What did I say? No toys. And I saw Jordan, he just dropped the toys. Right? Joshua was holding one. And then JJ, he was murmuring. He said, no toys all the time, no toys, no toys. You can't, nothing, you don't get anything, no toys, no toys. And he kept going like that until we get to the cashier. And I just, all right, get it, whatever we want. And he was holding the toy. And those two must run back. No. Stay, we're going to have to go. The second thing this guy does is, if I'm going to manage my money carefully, I must make plans. You must make plans. I cannot just look ahead. I have to make plans. In verse 4, this guy says, I know what I'll do. He hatches a plan. It was a dishonest plan, but at least he got a plan. In the Bible says, Proverbs 16:3, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will succeed. You know why your plans are not succeeding? Because you don't have any financial plans. You cannot succeed in your financial plans if you don't have any financial plans. Proverbs 16:9 says, we should make plans counting on God to direct us. How do you know if you are planning finances? It's because you have this in your life. B-U-D-G-E-T. How do you spell financial relief? Budget. If you don't have budget, you don't have a financial plan. What is a budget? A budget is planned spending. That's all it is. A budget is telling your money where you want it to go rather than wondering where it went. A budget is telling your money where to go rather than wondering where it went. People say money talks. Money doesn't talk. It just walks away quietly. And if you don't have a budget, you have no idea where it went. And if you don't have a budget, no budget plus easy credit equals disaster, plus spontaneous spending. Budget means I determine where I want my money to go and not wondering where it went. If you don't have a budget, you're really, really in trouble.